All right, so we live, and I'm only gonna be on for maybe an hour, hour and a half max because I have to get out of here. Life just does this thing where it just takes off like that's just life, man. It does this thing where it takes off completely randomly, dude, and you just like just try to keep up. All right, so we live. Let me check my audio. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, yeah. So, and like I said, I'm only gonna be on for maybe an hour, hour and a half because I got it. Today was just dude like this. I feel like this week's just gonna be awful. I had to do that video conference for hours yesterday. I feel like it's just gonna get just worse. And I almost didn't do a live stream, but I was like, fuck it. I got to I might as well do it just to keep some type of consistency, so people don't think I'm like being shady or some shit like that, or just being weird or whatever the fuck. You never know, man, with this shit. But yeah. So I'm going to do a relatively quick explanation on a dating order. And I want to draw it out because I feel like this may be more beneficial because I get how, some people I may talk too fast or I may just not speak very clearly. So I felt like drawing it out might be a little better. Maybe in a picture. So maybe if somebody's interested, they can screenshot it and use that for their, if they find it interesting, they can screenshot it and use it as their as help later on, if they may think about it. So yeah, I'll just wait for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, let people, if they want to watch, tune in to catch it. Well, I'm gonna leave this live stream up anyway, so I don't have to do that. But yeah, so what's up, Chill Pill? Yo, what's up, Super? What's up, man? Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this live stream up anyway. So I don't have to wait. So I thought this would be a great idea, and I was trying to get this to work before. I had no idea how to put the iPad. I got to use this Apple Pencil and iPad so you guys can see it on the screen. Dude, just for clarification, I never thought I'd be doing YouTube this long and doing it in anywhere near the level of intricacies that I thought I would do it at, of you having to manage shit and figure shit out. Never thought I would have. I would have been doing this in front of a camera for anywhere near this long. But I think it's a fun hobby. And also, people can, either, people can maybe learn something or, whatever, or get beneficial information, anything. What's up, Mr. Emoji? 1630. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, with the dating order, let's make sure this works, right? So, with the dating order, right? Where we at? Here we are. Let's switch to this. Okay, so with the dating order, let's say, and I'm going to use money just because I feel like, just because I think money is just the number one thing everybody can look at and at least be familiar with, right? But it's definitely not only money in the dating and in the balances in the dynamic of it, right? But I'm going to use money just as a reference tool to show you the realities of the dating market between men and women, right? So I'm sure at some point some of you have heard of the hot crazy matrix. I think it was a white guy who did that, and it was perfect. Yeah, I have no issue with it. And I know women who've seen that can again totally agree with it. And just like with what I'm going to do now, show this to any woman in your life. Show this to any woman in your life. They cannot say that that it's a lie. They'll be mad because they don't expect to see this actually written out and it makes sense. So they'll get mad because their game is literally like right here. And on top of that, it puts them in a reality check that they're not the best thing on. Like that woman and girlfriend, wife, mother, sister, aunt, niece, however old you are, it puts her in the perspective like, oh, I'm not very special after all, But she can't fight the reality, and this is why they'll get a little mad. They go, Because I told this to my girl. She'll go, Because based off this logic, she's not going to be like whatever woman you show this to. She's not going to be able to fight it. If anything, she just realizes more about herself or women. Maybe either her specifically or many of her female friends, the reality of what women actually do in the dating market, right? So here we go. So let's say the guy and the girl, right? And I'm experimenting with this because this is my first time doing this. Let's say the guy and a girl, we're going to start in the lower left-hand corner. Let's say, let's call him, oh, why is my pen not working? Here we go. Let's call him Todd. And Angela, right? Let's call them Todd and Angela. And they are both 20 years old, right? Now, both of these, Todd and Angela, want to both date, and let's just say they're both, heterosexual and they want to date the opposite sex, right? And again, I'm going to use money just as a reference tool. So, in these ages at 20 years old, let's say most 20-year-olds, when I was coming up, the max you'll probably make is let's call it let's say they both are making 13 per hour, right? Right? Let's just say they're both making $13 an hour. Right. And again, it's not only based off money, but I'm just using money as the initial reference. But let's say they're both making $13 an hour. Now, Todd doesn't really care how much money Angela makes. Todd just wants Angela, right? And even to the point where Todd's willing to spend all his time, his overtime payments, all this on Angela. And Angela may take it, but the reality is, these two are actually equal, right? And if there's one thing that women in the dating market don't care for as anywhere near as much, see, this isn't what their love novel stories don't come out of this, is being equal to the man. You see that? So in reality, it's probably more, let me see, can I cut this? Let's see. It's been so long since I used this program. I don't know how to do it. Okay, well, fuck it, because I forgot how to do it. Angela is actually above, right? In the reality, even though they both make the same amount of money. What's going on? Okay. Not get any marks. What the fuck? Oh, it just stopped working. It's not even like scrolling. Yeah. Technical difficulties. There we are. It's back. Is it working? Okay, it's working now. So in reality, Angela is actually better than Todd in the dating market, right? You know why? Because at this $13 an hour, Angela is not impressed by $13 an hour because that's equal to her. And woman does not admire equal or lesser than her. But you know who Angela will look up to? Angela is always... Did it freeze again? It fucking froze again. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, there we are. Okay, so the reality of it is Angela is only going... So I'm going to have to edit this shit out. Angela is only going up. The only thing that's going to impress Angela are the guys who are making, let's say, $17 per hour, right? And let's say his name is Derek, right? Now, and this is the part that hurts women's feelings, but they cannot, and like it's going to hurt because they're seeing what they actually do and they can't fight the logic, right? Because every woman is going to see this and say, and she knows in some, it may not be exactly money, but she did it in this sense, right? And this is where every woman will initially be hurt. And here's where a simp would think she's mad at me. Well, she's not mad at me. She's mad at herself for realizing the reality of her existence. So when Angela goes up, let me make sure it's still working. Yeah. When Angela goes up to Derek, see, Derek is the prize, right? In this scenario, because Derek is the better, Angela will stop the world for Derek. Angela will call off work from a barista job because she's gonna be 20. You know, she's gonna be 20 years old. She'll call off work from working at Starbucks to being a secretary to being this woman will risk everything for Derek and hire, right? This woman, she will risk everything, right? And here's the part where women get their feelings hurt. Is because where Derek works at, Derek is equal to his version of Angela. Let's call her Angie, right? Because Angie is also making $17 per hour. So to Angie, Derek is equal. So Angie does not want Derek. Because you know who Angie's looking at? If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm running out of space. Angie is looking up all the Angies that's around Derek. They not impressed by Derek because guess what? They're looking up to, let's say, Randall, right? Because Randall's making, let's say, 23 per hour, right? And again, Angie will, okay, she at best she can entertain Derek, but just like how Angela did with Todd, she can entertain him because he'll be her equal. But she will stop the world for Randall. She'll come around, she'll learn how to cook and clean and be nice and be all this and be great and you know, she's gonna stop the world she'll stop the world for more for Randall than she'll ever do for Derek. And just like how Angela would stop the world more for Derek than she ever done with Todd. You see? And then again, all the women in, let's say Susan. Right? Because Susan also makes 23 an hour. Right? And Susan is equal to Randall. So Susan's not impressed. But who's Susan gonna stop the world for? Who she's gonna call off work and leave family members behind and won't care about anything else and stop the world to get to that to the man who she'll truly admire? Where will she go? She's not going this direction. I'll tell you that much right now. She's not going that direction. She ain't going that direction. Susan is going up, and it continues. Right? It doesn't. And see, when you tell women this and you break it down for this, and then they see, oh, well, there's always going to be some woman better than me, and you know it, you know, then they're all like, oh, and now they mad because they want to be mad at you or be mad at me if you show them this video. They want to be. I'm gonna edit this out, the whole technical difficulties part. You know, when I finish this and just leave the live stream up. I think it takes like a few days for it to actually trim it out in YouTube. But this is the order of the dating market. So let's go ahead and put an X through because women they don't want equal. Equal is a time waster, right? Right. This is the path it goes up, and it doesn't stop. And here's the thing: this logic applies wherever you go on Earth. It doesn't stop. It doesn't. You know, this is no. Thanks, Burnham Cast, Master Interpersonal Relations. Yeah. You can apply anybody watching this. You can go anywhere on Earth, ERF, and it will be this same typical theory. She'll deal and let's start back at the beginning. Angela, you know, if she's having a slow day or Todd has a certain swagger about him and she's randomly kind of interested, yeah, she'll give him some attention, but that's not what she's impressed at. Angela is wanting to go up to Derek. Because Derek is her superior. And women always want to fuck their superiors, right? That's who they'll always admire. For one reason, she will admire you if you're her, and it's not always just money. It's not always just money. It comes out in different ways. I'm only using money because I think it's just simpler. And this is my first time ever trying to actually draw something out, especially on YouTube and in this form. And it wasn't like from like an English class or something like that when I used to be a teacher type of thing. So I'm using money just because it's more an immediate, it's more of a, we all can relate. We all can clearly see it and we can agree, right? Again, Angela with Todd. Todd can be, there are rare cases where the woman just likes the guy. That can happen. It can happen. But even that's only going to last so long. But it can happen. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It can happen where the woman just likes the guy. It happens. Not super common, but it happens. More cases than not, Todd is a time waster for Angela because they're equal. Right? And I would say even if Todd made, oh shit, I dropped the pencil. I'd say even if Todd made anywhere between 13 to about, I'd say, let's say 15. Let's say 1550. As long as he's in this realm, Angela always sees him. Angela is always going to see him as equal or lesser than her. And here's the thing, for no other reason, but here's the part. This is the entitlement of women. The only reason Angela feels like she can do she's better is because she knows she can just sell being woman. That's it. There is no effort on her end, especially at 20. There's no effort on her end. The only thing that's keeping her of value is that she's something to get fucked. Right? That's it. Because if you didn't want to fuck her, you wouldn't pay her attention. So, again, Angela to Todd, I'll say if Todd made anywhere between 13 and 15 an hour, Angela is going to regard him as equal, aka lesser than her, right? And the only time Angela will start to wake up again is when she's headed up to Derek. Let's just some quotation marks around his name, Derek, who's making 17 an hour. And all those guys and up, that's who she'll respect. That's who she'll stop the world for. She'll listen. She'll start talking a little lighter. She'll start being a little more relaxed. She'll start trying to be a little more lady and feminine and all that. She'll start trying to be more proper and all that for Derek, right? And again, the kicker is that in Derek's world, that version of Angela doesn't, he don't exist because they're equal. You see what I'm saying? They're equal now, and Derek can earn anywhere in this theory between, let's say, 17 to, I'd say 22 ish, and Angie will deem Derek as equal, aka lesser. He needs to work for this pussy. He needs to put in a lot more effort and all this. I need to be taken out on dates and be bought handbags and all that. See, that's what Derek has to do to prove that he can live up to what Angie's dream of what Randall is, because Randall is doing that. And then the kicker with Randall is that, okay, now let's dive into this. Randall can fuck all these bitches, right? Because they beneath him. Because he's better than them. Randall can go back and fuck all these bitches, where Todd cannot fuck all these bitches. Todd cannot, because he's lesser. That's the difference, right? And apply this theory throughout the world. And here's the thing. Just keep going from 23 an hour to $35 an hour to $35 to $45. It's the same thing. You see? Because again, Angela is equal to Todd. She don't want him. She's looking for Derek and above. But in Derek's world, that version of Angela doesn't want him. That version of Angela is looking for Randall and above. And then Randall, and in his world, Susan don't want Randall because Susan is looking above him. And it never fucking stops. Oh, yeah. The fence, is that it? The fence, yeah. So yeah, and that's a great theory. So in this concept, Todd is the both of them can be harassers or sexual abusers, right? But here's the thing. Todd becomes the sexual abuser because he's yucky, because he's lesser than than what that woman thinks her pussy's worth. So Todd is the immediately creep, unless he has a certain swagger and all that shit. Todd is the creep. Whereas, see, now Randall's not a creep until the woman figures out she can get money out of accusing him for being a creep. That's when Randall becomes the creep then. they both of them will, because that's just woman's escape to be innocent in all of it. And no matter what happens, if she just didn't want to talk to him or whatever, anything, it doesn't matter what happened. That's woman's typical escape to get out the problem. Is just call him a creep, a sexual abuser, sexual assault. Yeah. So in this theory, Todd is the harasser just because women, when women get in conversations, the first thing they're gonna ask is how much money does he make? What does he do? That's what every woman asks when they get around their girlfriends and get to talking. The first thing that comes out their mouth is how much money does he make? What does he do? What does he look like? That's it. And the looks, that really don't last too long. With women. Women, they've been getting fucked by alpha chads when they was fucking 17. So they've grown out of the looks, and for real, they've grown out of the looks department long ago, right? Right? So, I tell you what. So now we're going to go to men, right? So, with the men. Man just wants woman, right? That's really it, right? Just, only rules, okay? Only rules, take a bath. Don't be a cunt. And that's really about it. Okay? That's really the only requirements that man has for woman. Right? Because man just wants a part. We don't care about how much money they make and none of that other shit, right? Read that last super chat. Oh, let me see. Okay, my bad, Lentils. My bad. AD, I'm so done because I'm unemployed. What chances do I have? I'm 30 and unemployed, so I don't have to kill my... So do I have to kill my... No. Okay, here's the thing, man. Everybody's gonna fall, Lentils. Everybody's gonna fall, whether within money in some kind of way. Well, my Patreon channel got shut down. Y'all remember that? And it still ain't, and it ain't rebuilt back up to what it was since then. Everybody's gonna fall in some way, man. Everybody, and the thing, but here, and like I said in my older videos, the difference is, as a man, you 30, man, you're 30. But I get it, it's all you can see right now, and it fucking sucks, dude. I get it. But this time next year, you might be living down the street from me, making more money than me, because that's how life works out. And as man, your value goes back to what I did in the last. I mean, not only money, but it's money, confidence, swagger, all that, and a mixture of all that, depending on the woman. That's where your value is in. You can always rebuild it. But when women start hitting 40, 35, 40, that's when, okay, so let's, hang on. We're going to do this. So let's write this shit out. And this is specifically for Lentils. And thanks for the donation, Lentils. So, okay, so I'm just gonna go down these things, in dating, right? The man's value in dating is wisdom, which comes out in many different ways, such as, wisdom, But okay, wisdom branches off into a ton of different areas. But I'm just gonna put that right there. Wisdom, uh, logic, living in reality, and always remembering. So yeah, right now I got man's values in dating, wisdom, more specifically how to work through problems, and not completely panic. Having logic, living in reality, and always remembering it. Okay. Money managing. Oh, money money managing, physical, mental, financial protection. Yeah. I'd say right off the bat, these are the common core things that are going to keep you that man's value. And the thing is, at any point now, to elaborate on this, this has nothing to do. Okay. Once you get to a certain age where you've attained all this, it doesn't matter how old you ever get, and whenever if you ever lose it, you can always get all this back. You see what I'm saying? As a man, lentils, you can always get all. You just might you might get fucked up for a while. You might lose your job or go crazy or some shit like that, or something like that. You can fuck up, but you can go back out there at any age and essentially go out there and recoup most of this. I'd say if you just get too old, I'd say the only thing that may kind of fade a little bit is the physical, right? I'd say that's the one thing that once if your body just can't do something, that's about the only thing and that's only like one of the three things you can offer, right? Because as we get older, we focus as men, we focus more on just this, right? On mental and financial, in life. Physical, that works out, in the younger years. But in the older years, it doesn't really work. So, okay, so this is the man's value, especially like in the beginning of dating, right? This is what the man is wanted for. This is what the man is desired for. Okay, when I say wanted, desired, meaning this is why men are legitimately needed in society, right? Not because you're just wanted. Because women are more just wanted in society. Society could not live without man's values. You see this? Man's value in dating. Society simply would not be able to exist without man's value in this shit. What man brings to the table. Now, don't get me wrong, women they'll fuck dudes who don't have anything like this because the guy might have indirectly got, attention for being a badass or anything. If the guy just gets attention, the woman can go fuck him. But when it comes time for that reality check to set in, once bitches start hitting the wall, yeah, that's when them Chelsea handlers and the old bitches that still kind of look a little good, but you can tell their best years was 20 years ago. See, all of them looking for this. All of them is looking for this. Right? Now, the woman's value in dating. Pussy. Contact in case if you can trust her. Okay, let's say I'm ran out of space. Some companionship. I ran all out of space on that. Some companionship. Some guys need, random validation. So I'll go ahead and include that. Random validation. And let's go ahead and include someone to talk to. Okay, right, and I think everybody can agree this is essentially what she's going to bring to the table. That's going to be anywhere near that's going to be completely on the positive side, right? These things. Now, what's up, Javi? So the woman's value, and can you guys see that? So the woman's value in dating, right? For the only reason that you even go out there and deal with her, right, is pussy, some companionship, random. And some guys need the random validation. There's nothing really wrong with it. I don't advocate it, but there's nothing wrong with it. And someone to talk to. That's really, especially in dating, that's really about it, right? Now, how do you differentiate this from any prostitute you can go out and buy for the same amount of money that you had to take her out on a date with? Let's be real about it. Because I've always advocated prostitution. I think prostitution is great. Well, I think all women are prostitutes. So they just have to go in covert ways to get there. But in the end, it's all prostitution, all of it. But again, for the woman's value, that's a hooker. Because anything else, okay. Because if you bring in money, here's the other part on this. So the man's value versus the woman's value is the woman is going to bring down all these statistics, all of these qualities that you have, right? Especially depending on how strong you are and how you can manage her and all that. The woman is going, what she's going to bring to the table is literally destroying. She's going to constantly work at destroying all this. Lives in reality, money managing, financial, mental, psycho. She is going to bring down all of this. All of this, right? But, like a hooker, she can always go back out and sell this. To then, the next guy she finds, she's going to do nothing but work harder at bringing down all of this. So there's also lentils. So to go back on Lentil's statement about you're unemployed and all that, dude, you are going to get back up. So let's move to another part. Okay, well let's also elaborate. So let's say the woman's value, right? Okay, now let's say childbirth, children, if you want children, right? Well, there's only women really have, they try to hype up that women don't have this time, but then no, women know they have, they know they have this time before having children. This is really real sloppy. Having children is definitely on. Okay, for one reason, after they get so old, it just doesn't fit in for multiple reasons. There's a donation distraction. AD, is there a chance if a man is broke and unemployed that beautiful women will still fall love for them? You said yesterday that if women get mad in men, then women is loving the men who treat her bad. How broken employed men make beautiful women fall in love? Okay, so I'll answer that real quick. Let me get back to the where I was going with that with lentils, because I really wanted to touch on lentils because that was a serious topic, and men don't hear this from other men. In real life, people just don't walk around talking about this shit. So okay, so distraction real quick. Woman, okay, there are very rare scenarios where women will love a guy if he's broke. But in majority cases, the only reason she's loved him is because she still has faith that he will get up and do something, right? And I got a perfect example. The friend of mine, I told you guys a while back, the story about the friend of mine who was living in my flat while I was living over here. He actually lived in my flat longer than I did. I lived there about a month. He lived there about 3 years. He lived there longer than I did. He was with this woman. He was what they call, he was a Tyrone to this woman. The woman, she was a little older. She had a kid, but he was a Tyrone. He pretty much took her from her husband, right? And she literally was like paying for everything for him because he was fucking her and all that. He was fucking her right and all that shit like that, right? But the thing, and he had her head hype that he would be this, this great musician and all this. And she bought him like the best Apple editing software shit. Every time I went over there, he had some new Apple shit that was like thousands of dollars, right? Every time. I remember one time I even took him back to Best Buy because I had like reloaded or some shit like that. But even though he was the alpha Tyrone in that shit, the fact that he never actually formulated something, it can even take years, but the fact that nothing ever actually formulated, that woman, when they broke up, they were living in a hotel, because she had spent all her money on him, buying him all this shit off the alimony from her ex-husband. She was getting, I think, between like $2,000 or $3,000 a month for alimony, and then getting like an extra like $1,000 for child support, because the dude was making, I think, because he was making well in the six figures, so she was getting, on top of that, he would just give her money type. So she was getting, she had plenty of money. She had a nice car. She had a decent little house. She had a nice car, all this, and she would spend it all on him. The guy who was living in my flat, spend it all on him, right? But before he moved into my flat, they were living in a hotel room. By the time it was all over, she had spent all his money. She spent all her money on him. He had spent whatever little student loan checks he could on, to make it by after that. And you know what happened? That woman got up and just walked out the hotel room on him and left a note that said, I have to leave, I'm sorry, and just never came back, and left him there with no money in the hotel room, no place to go, and it was only paid up to, I think it was like that Sunday, because I started getting text messages that he want from other friends saying, I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, he's looking for you, but he can't find, he's looking for me. So I knew like something had to be wrong if he's coming, if it's like he put out a massive word like that. Something had to be wrong, and he's afraid to be judged about it. If he put out a word like that, where every time I go somewhere, oh yeah, somebody's looking for you, and I ain't heard from him in like years, I knew something had to be wrong, and I went there, and he was fucked up, dude. Alpha Tyrone was fucked up. So at some point, what the point I'm trying to make is, at some point, when you dealing with a woman, dude, like at some point, like you have to like. Woman's nature is to crave you to provide in some way, right? And he really just, at that point, he wasn't providing in any way. Because they were already in a nice neighborhood, so the physical protection really wasn't, that wasn't an issue. He had no money, and mentally, he was just smoking weed. He was smoking weed that she would buy for him all day. And fuck her. So there was no, and she'll sit there and still laugh and smile and act like everything's cool. But because she's secretly hoping that he's going to get his music career off the ground. And after so long, she just can't keep doing it. You see? So here's the thing. If you're broke and employed, everybody's going to go through a phase of this, dude. In some form, in some way, at some point in their life. Everybody's going to go through this in some way, right? The only time a woman is gonna still find value in you and still and hold, I think Chris Rock even touched on this, and hold on to you and all that shit, is if she thinks you got a good chance of getting back up and getting it again in some kind of way. Because not long after that, that's when they gonna start moving in with their mom. She gonna leave and all that shit. This is that's what would happen with my girl. It was the same thing. She would do this. She claims she wouldn't because I say it out loud, and she don't want to admit that I'm right. So she said, "No, I would never do that." Yes, she will. My girl will do it to me. All right. Living for, I'm not saying that anybody in here is doing this, but living for a woman's love is the worst fucking thing you could. Depending on her love, that is the worst fucking thing you could do. Like depending on that shit. And hoping that she's gonna being there through thick and thin. That's the man's job for a woman. That's what that's meant for in them vows, through thick and thin. That's the man's supposed to be for the woman through thick and thin. The woman ain't. No, it don't go the other way. All right, don't even expect that. Don't expect that. And like I said, with the Tech Leads video I did, I think the only difference is that I expect the woman to do some wild shit like that. Whereas I don't think he really expected it. He probably thought he was a little special and found the one and all that. Hey, no, don't expect it. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so back to this. So to value in dating, part 2, right? So the woman, so okay, at the core reasoning of it, right? The woman's value is in her having children, you know, youth, beauty, right? That's if you break it all the way down to the core, that's really what it's gonna be about. And we'll just use pussy as another one. All right? We'll use pussy as another one. This is really going to be the woman's value. That's essentially all she's really going to bring to the table. That's going to, you know, in some kind of way be a benefit, you know, for you. Let's be, you know, it's some, and like I said, somebody to talk to. Let's just say conversation, right? Well, again, the reality is society can and will essentially just completely move on from this woman, right? Like it's not really needed. You know, it's not. I mean, okay, well, having children, yeah, that's needed. But okay, the rest of this is literally replaceable every year from Northwest High School when that next class graduates. All right. And every year after that next class graduates, those 20-year-old bitches, they getting a year older, and they're slowly losing all this value. All this value slowly goes the fuck away, right? Again, with the man's value, even though like we get fucked up, dude, we get fucked up. Our things to be the provider is to, you know, is provide for family, all this, and we'll lose our jobs, we can lose our minds and all that. But the thing is, our values, hey, let me write it out. Our value in the dating market is longevity. Whereas woman's overall value is temporary. It's temporary. But they have a lot more value in the beginning. They have a lot more value because they're pretty. Because they're pretty. And you want to fuck them. And that's 98% of the whole reason why you even acknowledge their existence or you even care about what they even think. Right? For the most part. See, all of these things that everything you can say. Thanks for the donation. Let me get that in a minute, man. Thanks for the donation. It says, hey, sorry to interrupt. Can you also do a comparison? Oh, yeah, Wes. Yeah, I'll do that on this. I'll do that on the iPad, too. Hopefully it keeps working. I don't know what that was about earlier. It was just really acting weird at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, see, and these are the things that, and here's the part. Here's the thing, too. Women know this. They already know. They know that their value is really quite laughable, right? But it's the only value they have, so they have to live with it. So when you spell it out for them, like this, in a video where you actually are writing it out, like they're mad because they don't expect for you to be that smart to see this, to know it, and find comfort in it. Because woman knows this is the reality. All of her value is literally temporary. But male's value, I don't care if the man is, okay, usually it's going to start for men, I'd say 28, let's just say 28. When we start to click on, all the wisdom starts to add up, right? And this goes on until death. Right? Yeah. More value, wisdom, logic, reality, etc. Right? The more time goes on, the more we gain all this, right? The more time goes on, the more you are going to attain wisdom, logic, and reality. You are going to attain that. You can't not do it. Have you look if you just bump your damn leg on accident, well now you know why I got the wisdom to not put my leg there next time I get out of bed. You can't even avoid learning wisdom. You can't avoid and see, we are the fucking foundation to human life when it comes to keeping human life growing in a positive direction. Right? But see, woman's value that she's gonna learn is essentially gonna be between the ages. Her values, once women learn that they can get fucked and they can alter their looks to get more attention to get fucked, I'd say it starts around between. It's gonna start typically around the ages of 13 to 15 for most of them, right? And this only lasts until about 25 years. Their wisdom that they learn along this period is how to get fucked, how to put my hair up, how to look better for Derek and them to get out. And then once 25 hits, oh, it's just, all the that's when all this goes into effect, and they're done. You see, these. Oh yeah, there's birds. Yeah, it's starting to get springtime. Yeah, springtime. It's April 27th, and it's just starting to get it's still kind of chilly, but yeah, you can hear the birds outside. Yeah. Oh, I got some new plants. I would show you guys, but I don't want to lose the internet connection. But I got some gangster plants. I got a banana tree and a dacarina. I like that, and I got a mint plant that I thought it was gonna die. I'm gonna make a video about it. I thought it was gonna die, and I said, you know what? I'm just repot it. And I repotted, and they all stood straight the fuck up after that. So I'm real proud of my mint plant because I thought it was gonna die. And I got rosemary. I'm gonna go to the construction store to get more, because they got the best plants at Hornbach. This hardware store. So yeah, okay. So let's go into Shock's question about where we at. Okay, hang on. Okay. So let's use westernized women and non. Okay, so because I think westernized is really the key. So I'm trying to think of a concise way to explain this without making it fucking just so much you can't even see. So I'll just in the middle write similarities, right? So okay. All women, whether they want to admit it or not, all women entitlement, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm thinking of a word, but I can't. God. Okay, yeah. So similarities. Well, we'll just roll with entitlement. Now it's for different reasons and different ways it plays out, right? Okay. So compete with other women. That's another one. Let's use that. Okay. Yeah. So we'll roll with this. So with the westernized women, and let's just say, okay, because any woman can become westernized and fall into that, just ridiculous mentality, right? So for sake of conversation, let's just use American women, as a core base, right? So with the entitlement and competition of other women, westernized women don't have great competition. Yeah. Uh-oh. No great competition. They don't. Because, okay, U.S. is landlocked. Essentially speaking for this, well, you just entertain it. Right? So, which means they're not getting in any, and there's not a whole lot of foreign influence of healthy diets, putting on proper makeup, even getting her hair, like just brushing her fucking hair, right? They don't have, so by the time you see a woman in the US with her hair just brushed and she's taking a bath, she's immediately a fucking, and she's not fat, she's immediately a 7. No other questions asked, she's immediately a 7, right? Because there's no great, there's no, I always say great, there's just no competition. I say that, just wipe out the word great. There's no competition. So they got the market, fucking cornered. And on top of that, the U.S. is landlocked by 9 hours. By, well, I say about, by 6 hours of water, right? So that further deters any competition from actually making it to the U.S., right? So now so the negative effect is too comfortable. Too comfortable. Now this branches off into many reasons why this is America's major problem. In my opinion, this is why America is suffering with a lot of problems, because the women are too comfortable. Okay, government will wipe their ass. No legal. I spelled that wrong because I'm trying to write fast. Because I got out of here. Prostitution. No legal prostitution, aka competition. Yeah, and then poor diet. They've gotten too comfortable, right? They're too comfortable, and again, no competition. This is why women are sitting there. See, and this. Thanks for the donation, XXX. I'm gonna get to that in a second, man. But thanks a lot for the $1 donation. Appreciate it. This is why women are so miserable. See, this is why. Okay, in any theory, in any context, the most miserable woman is a woman who is comfortable. It never, the most miserable woman is the one who's completely comfortable because she knows she'll be taken care of. That is the most miserable woman. How do you keep, and this is why I say, okay, what was the video I made a while back? Was it last week? What time is it? It's 8:49. Okay, oh yeah, with the girl with the Mr. Potato Head eyebrows. That girl, that woman is in that video. That was the peak of her life as a woman. For her, woman is happy when she's appearingly mad, and especially in that scenario, because she feels like she can lose him. She's not comfortable. Again, that woman had tons of guys, right, messaging her, emailing, well, he should treat you better. She knew tons of guys who would have came along and gave her all the attention and all that, and didn't want to fuck around with anybody else, and she didn't want it. That woman was in her hot. Her life will never be that happy again. She has to feel like she has to feel competition that she can lose you for a woman to be happy. You see what I'm saying? They need that. So when they have no competition, no sense of the ability to lose, woman's brain cannot handle being a king. She can't handle being the top. Woman always wants to be beneath something and have something to fight. This is why men can go off and be kings and literally just sit at their throne. Just sit. Knowing that they at the top. Knowing that the man is at the top, they can just go there and just sit. Just like this. And chill. And be happy with it. Right? Because they're at the top. Woman, no. None of that is interesting. Now, she's interested in fucking that man. Because again, like from the first example I showed you of Derek and them, she's interested in fucking that man, but she don't want to be in that position because she's at the top. Ain't nothing else to do with it. See, men, we find value in being, was it like the 98 Bulls and being on the top. Men like that shit of being at the top. Women, no. No. Because and to break it down, and I'm gonna go on a non-westernized women in a second, but to break it down even further is because there's a lot more thought at being at the top. I mean, yeah, because you can lose being at the top too, but there's a whole lot more thought of remembering what you was like, how to juggle and manage all that shit. And women hate to think in depth about any type of actual logic outside of trying to get fucked and trying to get attention. Anything else, when it comes to any moral reasons, women on a whole hate that shit. On a whole. Like they try to they try to keep up in conversations because they recognize, you like it and you might be valuable. So they'll try to keep up with you. But there's very few women who genuinely like it. So let's go on to non-westernized women. All right. And I hope I can make all this fit. So, listen, and I'm just going to use, okay. So typically in I won't say all places, but in a lot of other places that aren't completely westernized, you have competition, which branches off from better diets, better makeup, better looking women, better clothing, right? So, okay, now maybe the specific, that specific woman may not fit this criteria, but she knows in society that this is the reality of what she has to go up against. Now, I'm not saying these women are going to be perfect angels, because you still got to regulate because they still bitches. You see what I'm saying? They just non-westernized bitches. Just like you could be a Harvard hoe or you could be a gas station hoe. All right, they all still hoes, but you have but the difference is in their culture and they walk of life and and how you manage that shit, right? And how you look at it and manage it. So hey, let me read this comment real fast by XXX. Thank you for making it clear. I have a friend who was a footballer and he get a beautiful girlfriend, but when he's starting to date her, he lost his discipline and got kicked off the team and the girl left him too. Why women destroy us men mentally? Well, okay, so let me go ahead and touch on this, man. Let me make this a little bigger just in case anybody's like, I don't feel like it makes much sense, but maybe, I never feel like what I do makes sense a lot of times, but why do women destroy men mentally? Okay, here's the deeper part, man. And this is going to be every woman's fight. And a woman's going to like, for the women watching, they're going to like me to say this. The problem is in man's enlightenment with this, right? Because it is your duty to be prepared for a woman. It's your duty to be prepared. And well, you can, if anybody's curious about the day, they can screenshot it. Okay. Woman wants man to be, I'll say, prepared. Woman wants man to either be completely prepared or, oh, well, okay. I kind of want to write that out. Okay. And or make decisions for multiple reasons. For this part, this comes out in the multiple reasons. And the make decisions part of it, woman wants man to be. See, it's hard to write because I got to write like up here because if I put my hand down, it'll like fuck it up. It'll fuck up the app. So I gotta like write like a fucking ostrich or some shit. So that's why the writing's like kind of fucked up. But with the make decisions, that branches off into different segments. So let's dive into this part right here. More specifically, decisions, right? So, one, woman wants to follow. Typically, okay, and this is different reasons too. And this kind of goes into what I was going to go up there. They want to follow, okay, because of fragile female ego. Because of fragile female ego, this gets her, since she's following and not making a decision, she can't be blamed for said decision. You see how that works out? I hope that makes sense. Because the fragile female ego, she cannot be blamed for said decision later. On top of, okay, and that's just one area. Another area is she wants man to be in, I'd say, collected control. And the emphasis is on collected, right? Because here's the thing. If you make a decision and you're like, screaming it, if you're making a decision, but you're coming off as like you need her approval too much. Like you're like too much. If you need her approval too much, or like, and that could come out in different ways. It can come out and be like an angry, physical, boxing abuser, or it could be like a weak, pathetic motherfucker who needs her in his life. It could come out in different ways. But if it comes off as you need her when you make the decision, when you're making a decision, that's weak. So as long as you're collected, she wants the man to be in collected control. He wants for himself to be collected. He wants for himself, what's a better word? He wants himself to be, let's just say, calmly sure of himself, and he's going to go do it anyway, and she can just come along if she wants to come along, type of shit. You see what I'm saying? Doing the math. We doing the math. But yeah, so back to XXX. When woman goes out in the world, back to the first thing. So I'll tell you what, so if anybody's interested in that, they can just screenshot it, on a playback. So again, back where I made up, well, let's just use Alex, right? Alex and Val. Let's just use Valerie. Right? See, the reason why, if they both make $13 an hour, this woman views Alex as not totally prepared because Alex is equal to her. You see that? So Alex is never going to be viewed in Valerie's eyes as totally prepared. This is why Valerie goes up, because Valerie wants that ease of being prepared and all that shit. So she'll go up to Tom, who makes, let's say, $17 an hour, right? And again, this is where women usually get mad because they never thought about the total reality of men and women and woman's actual position in all this, right? So Valerie will love Tom simply because of that, right? No other reason. Because Tom, to her, Tom is better prepared. He's better than her. He's better. He's prepared. And just for those who may have tuned in later, I'll just go ahead and just kind of re-skim through this. So in Tom's world, Tom is equal to Sarah because Sarah also makes $17 an hour. So Sarah does not want Tom. So actually, let's add in an X right there, right? She doesn't want Tom because Tom is equal to her. I mean, Todd is equal to her. Todd must not be prepared because Todd is on her same level. He's equal, so. But who will Sarah love? Love. She's gonna go up to Bob. Let's just use Bob because Bob is making 25, right? Now, again. Sarah's going up to Bob because Bob must have it together. He must be collected, right? But the reality is, in Bob's world, he's equal to Susan, who's making also $25 an hour. So Susan does not want Bob. But guess, and you guess where you guess Susan is gonna love that. Now, throughout all this, now she'll get raw dogged by some random guy at a club or something like that. But when it comes to this shit, especially like once people start getting a little older in the workforce, okay, Sarah ain't trying. She ain't okay. Here's the thing. Now, Bob, for those of you who may have tuned in later, Bob can now fuck Sarah and can fuck Valerie. He can. Because they'll find him admirable. But on the flip side, Alex cannot really go with Sarah and Susan. It don't work that way. You see what I'm saying? So, in conclusion, men must date down, and women date up. Now, there are scenarios where like a guy can be a bad boy or something like that. There are some scenarios. It's not a 100% sealed and shut case. There are scenarios that will work in there. Don't get me wrong. Maybe like I said, sometimes a girl just likes a guy. Though that totally happened. Like she just likes him, and it's not. She can't even explain it. That happens. Or maybe she just gets attached to a guy, whatever, blah 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 blah. But generally speaking, you can use this logic everywhere. And now. For the guys watching, you don't see anything wrong with this, right? For the guys watching, you don't see anything wrong with this. But women, when they see this, all women are going to be a little mad and let down because it's the reality. All right, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's 9:05. Fuck, I gotta hurry this up. The reason why women are mad about this is because it's clear what their value is in all this. Is that women is the lesser. So even in her primary directive to keep climbing up, no matter how high she climbs into what she really wants, she's always going to be of less value. You see? And see, so guys, you didn't even pick up on that. Women did. All right, and they mad. I bet they went, if you watching woman, I know you went, he's right, but women date up. And see now, and I gotta go, man. So what tends to happen? Okay, so real quick, we're gonna explain the friend zone, because I think this is another important part of all this, right? Man, and I hope this makes sense, because this is my first time doing this, like, and on something I'm like actually passionate about to talk about. So I hope it like translates well to what I've been saying in my video. So man in, let's just use man in friend zone and woman. Well, I think that's a little confusing. Let's leave that out. So let's just do this. So when a man is in the friend zone, no sex. No sex, right? When a woman's in the friend zone, let's just can get used for sex, right? She can get, and see with this simple logic right here is why I never pay attention. As soon as a woman tries to make fun of a man for getting a woman or getting sex or something like that, that is, I think that argument is just completely laughable. Or women call men incels or all this shit like that. Woman, like you are like on a woman's worst day. Worst day. She can't, I ain't mean to do that. Woman's worst day. She can still get used for sex. And see, and so when she tries to use this argument of trying to make fun of a guy for not getting a woman, look, your existence as woman will still get you used as side pussy, being in the friend zone, right? So let's go off into another part. So what is a hoe? Let's just spell it like that. What is a hoe? Okay. So a man hoe is okay. No, wait. Let's actually erase it. Let's actually erase that. To give a more in-depth explanation. Uh-oh. Okay, so what is a hoe? A hoe is someone who gives core. Yeah. Oh, I meant to write that. Yeah. Core values of relationship of relationship of a relationship. Nah, fuck. While not receiving is typically, but I'm trying to hurry up. While not getting any back, right? So I'm trying to hurry up and run through this. I gotta get off here. So what is a hoe? A hoe is someone who gives core values of a relationship without getting any back, while not getting core of values back, right? So, a woman hoe. A woman who is hoe. Well, everybody knows what that is. We all know what that is. Fucking. Easily. Fucking easily. With little effort. Effort from male's role, right? So, can y'all see that? Yeah. Woman who is hoe, fucking easily with little effort from the male role. So, what is the male's role? What is the male's role? I wish I had another app where I can like make it like I could just keep writing and like zoom in on certain. But this is a one-time go. So, male's role is protection. Right? Whether it be, like financial, physical, or emotional, in that upstanding context, right? But essentially, we say the male's role is protection, and the woman's role is fucking, right? So when a woman is a hoe, she's fucking easily with little effort from the male from male's role, and the male's role equals protection. The guy can just call her up, fuck her, whatever, and throw her out. Right? He doesn't have to go there and put in time and effort to deal with her and talk to her and care for her and make sure she's all right and all that. He don't got to do that. He can just walk in, fuck her, leave. Tinder. Online dating, right? The cock carousel. Now, man who is hoe is the same thing. He's giving his core role without receiving. Without receiving, right? Giving his core role without receiving. So what does that mean? He's giving. Okay, so when the man is a hoe, he's giving his time, physical abilities, time, physical. Okay, excluding sex. Okay. Excluding sex. I would say that. Generally that. Yeah. His core role, a man's core role is his time and physical abilities. So so time and physical ability, I say both of these will inevitably end up in the same boat. So it's like, let's say like if a woman asks you to move furniture, hook up, move furniture, paint a wall. Let's say pick her up from the mall. Pick her up, from mall. Yeah. See, this is when. But in the meantime, the guy's not getting payment. He's not getting the woman's core role. Okay, the core role, the woman is not getting. The man is not getting what the woman's role is, and for what makes her a hoe. So how they meet in the middle of what pretty much deduces both sides from not being the hoe is coming together in the middle, exchanging, fucking for protection. That's essentially what it comes. Fucking for protection and fucking for protection and maintenance in the house, right? That's essentially the core of what keeps both sides going in a relationship, because once one side starts to let off, meaning, because I'm here off here, let me switch this to me. It's probably got an echo again. Let me make sure it doesn't have an echo. Mic check. Make sure it doesn't have an echo. Yeah, I'm checking. I got a 20-second delay, man. So my bad. And I don't want to keep talking and then have a fucking crazy echo because Streamlabs is just a piece of shit. I'm skipping for some reason. Okay. Yeah, it's skipping. I'm just gonna finish it on this. So yeah. So in any and every relationship, more times than not, in every in most relationships, once that equal bond, once that yeah, I don't know why it's moving much smoother now. Once that equal bond of oh, let me turn this volume down. Once the bond of sex in exchange, okay, not equal. Sex for, let me see. Once this is essentially broken, once this is essentially broken, that's when relationships fall the fuck apart. Either the man, okay, let's write this. Either the man is giving too much is giving too much protection. Well, let me do this. Right. Okay. Either the man is giving too much protection to the woman, or the woman is giving too much sex to the man without getting the proper trade. That's the essential core foundation of it fucking up, of the relationship falling apart. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, the man, you can fuck around and tap the fuck out and just disappear. You can do that and leave her. Actually, forgot to spell that. And leave her questioning, and she will still have some. If as long as you leave first, you can leave. The man can leave, right? That's supposed to be an arrow, but I'm running out of space. You can leave and fuck around and take the protection with you, right? That's a shitty arrow, but that's what it's supposed to be. You can leave. The relationship can still work because the woman got left first and she's sitting around questioning, what happened? You still keep him? You see what I'm saying? And see, even in this scenario, you can still pump this bitch full of kids and all that and keep a family and all that and keep a relationship going for the next 10, 15 years. But on the other side, let's say the woman leaves and takes sex with her, and the man is sitting up talking about what happened. No, it's over. That's the end of human evolution. That's the end of humanity growing. That's it. Well, once she does it, nothing can grow out of that because woman became the leader in it. She became the leader. So there's enough, because like I say, the one who's following is the one who's following is not in control. And see, by the time the woman leaves, she's the leader because she initiated the leaving. She made a decision. She made something. She got the fuck up and left. There is no more human development. All that shit comes to a halt. There is no, see, when it's like this scenario, you can still have kids, raise families, keep human development going, all that shit. Everything's still fine. Yeah, you can do all. Humanity can continue to grow, but when the woman takes leadership, no, it's over. It's done. After that, you're just a fucking fool. Okay. John Meyer said you need to do a red pill exam AD certified thing. Who passes gets do the math. Yeah. All right, yeah, so I got to get out of here, man, because I stayed on too late. So, hey, I'm going to leave this up. I'm probably going to try to trim it either when I get back tonight or tomorrow morning because I had technical difficulties in, the first, 30 minutes. I just couldn't write for some reason. So, yeah, I'm going to get off here. I'll catch you on the flip.